is it different for you to compose, or have you ever composed something that was purely just something that came to you and has not been thought through at all?
I would say no, because I mean, everything that you do is thought through in some way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even this whole question, it's interesting with Spinoza, because his ideas of what is intuitive is directly the opposite of how we consider it today. Because for him, intuitive was to actually understand everything in a rational manner, right?
Yeah.
But but maybe another way to answer that question, sometimes I write things very quickly. So on purpose, so to say, okay, I do this even with my students. I had a seminar which was about time and music. The first exercise that we did was I gave them a piece of paper and I said, okay, I'd like you all to write a piece for solo violin, and you will have an hour to write this, and the piece should be 1 minute long. Wow. And so they sat for an hour and they write the piece, and then I give them a second piece of paper, and then I say, okay, now I want you to write also a piece for solo violin, and it should be 1 hour long, and you have 1 minute to write this.
Wow.
So, and then we talk about what is the production process there, because, and where are they most creative? Because, yeah, you have two problems as a composer. You have too much time and too little time.
Little, yeah.
There's nothing in between. So, so again, you know, how you write, or how you reflect, or how you react, is all part of a composition. And so yeah, so there might be ways that are more reactive or slower processes, or something that Schoenberg called Einfall. So where it's something, it's an idea, and it just falls, it just comes to you, which is very different than a type of structural thinking.
Yeah, I hope that we will keep kind of admiring the things that are really thought through, because I find that things are so easy nowadays, like, and everything is so available, and you can make things so easily and find information everywhere about anything. So yeah. I really admire that when people really know something really well, like just something tiny, but it's becoming less and less important, I think. But it's the only way to really...
Well, yeah, I think someone, a Norwegian composer, recently wrote to me about this, that this whole question of difficulty in writing, because I think for many composers it's very easy to write. It's too easy, actually. I'm a bit suspicious of this in some ways. So yeah, it's I don't think it should be easy necessarily.
But do you always have to find meaning in order to be creative?
Find meaning. Maybe not. Well, maybe you have to discover. You have to discover an experience that's meaningful.
Yeah.
So I would put it this way, that yeah, because meaning in music, it's a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
And very subjective.
yeah, it's very and also what it might mean for one person might be, it might have a totally different meaning for someone else. But perhaps the experience that comes from the piece should be, in some ways, it should be a little bit dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be a risk.
Yeah. I think that's a good word, actually. But I used it in a negative way.
Yes.
But I'm starting to realize that maybe that's what gives the meaning to it. Because when there's no risk, I mean, then why do it?
Then why do it? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.